Beneath the dense emerald canopy, the jungle pulses with life, shrouded in perpetual twilight. The air is heavy, rich with the scent of damp earth, decaying leaves, and the faint sweetness of blooming orchids. Ancient trees, their trunks thick with age, rise like pillars into the mist, their gnarled limbs entwined by a labyrinth of vines and moss. Shafts of golden light pierce the gloom, illuminating pockets of tangled undergrowth where dew clings to every leaf and spiderweb. Here, the boundaries between life and death are razor-thin. Every rustle in the foliage, every fleeting shadow could herald a sudden chase or a desperate escape. The jungle is a living mosaic, predators and prey locked in a silent, ceaseless dance, while insects shimmer in the filtered sunlight and frogs cling to slick leaves, their calls echoing through the humid air. Small mammals scurry beneath the ferns, and birds unseen send out sharp warnings from their hidden perches. This is the Black Panther's domain, a realm where silence is the currency of survival, and every movement is a calculated risk. The panther glides through the shadows, its obsidian coat absorbing the dim light. Muscles ripple beneath its sleek fur, each step measured and precise. Its paws press silently into the soft earth, leaving barely a trace, while its whiskers twitch, sampling the air for the faintest hint of prey or rival. High above the forest floor, the panther reclines on a moss-laden branch, nearly invisible in the dappled darkness. Its body is perfectly camouflaged, blending seamlessly with the shifting shadows. Every sense is sharpened to a razor's edge. The faintest tremor in the leaves below, the distant chatter of monkeys, the subtle shift of wind, all are registered with predatory precision. Its eyes, reflecting the faintest glimmer of light, scan the world below, while its ears swivel independently, capturing the jungle's hidden symphony. Even in stillness, the panther radiates latent power. Its muscles remain tensed, ready to explode into action at a moment's notice. The tip of its tail flicks in anticipation, claws flexing against the rough bark. Every fibre of its being is tuned for the art of ambush, a silent sovereign forged by generations of survival in this unforgiving world. Yet even the king of shadows must heed the call of necessity. Thirst gnaws at its resolve, compelling it to abandon the safety of its lofty perch. With a fluid, practiced motion, the panther rises, its silhouette slipping through tangled branches, dew scattering from its fur as it descends. The distant murmur of the river beckons, promising cool relief but demanding vigilance. Each step toward the water's edge is a calculated gamble, exposing the panther to unseen dangers that may lurk beneath the surface or in the shadows beyond. The river glints through the foliage, its surface broken only by the wavering reflection of the panther itself. With deliberate, almost spectral grace, the panther descends from its arboreal vantage, each movement a testament to its mastery of this perilous world. Its breath mists in the cool air, eyes scanning every shadow, every flicker of movement. Here, hesitation is fatal, and only the most vigilant endure. In this domain, the black panther reigns, an apex predator, perfectly attuned to the intricate rhythms of the jungle. The panther advances with silent intent, each step measured, its obsidian coat blending seamlessly with the dappled shadows. Muscles coil beneath its skin, every sense tuned to the subtle symphony of the river's edge. The air is thick with humidity, carrying the scent of wet earth and the faint musk of unseen creatures. Each pawful is deliberate, pressing into the mud, leaving behind a fleeting signature among the tangled roots and scattered leaves, a silent warning to those who know how to read the land. The riverbank is alive, a mosaic of shifting light and sound. Sunbeams pierce the dense canopy, illuminating swirling mist that clings to reeds and mossy stones. Dragonflies hover in iridescent flashes, their wings catching the light as they hunt for smaller insects. Frogs, startled by the panther's approach, leap from the banks with sudden splashes, while schools of fish scatter in synchronized bursts beneath the surface. Every movement is a signal, every sound a coded message in the language of survival. The river's surface is a living mirror, its gentle ripples distorting the reflections of overhanging vines. Beneath, aquatic plants sway in the current, their leaves brushing against the scales of hidden creatures. Small fish dart for cover as a shadow glides overhead, their silver bodies flashing in the filtered light. The river is a boundary and a lifeline, its calm concealing the ever-present threat of ambush. Below the surface, the green anaconda lies in wait, coiled among the roots like a living shadow. Its scales glisten with the sheen of river water, camouflaged perfectly against the muddy bed. The snake's eyes, unblinking and fixed upward, track every vibration above. Its body, thick as a tree trunk, is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, built for stealth, patience, and sudden violence. The anaconda's head hovers just beneath the surface, nostrils barely breaking the waterline. Its tongue flickers, tasting the air for chemical traces, while its eyes remain locked on the panther's silhouette. Concentric ripples radiate outward as the snake senses the faintest tremors, each vibration a clue, each shift in temperature a signal. The anaconda's world is one of sensation, where the boundaries between predator and prey are defined by the subtlest cues. Suddenly, the water erupts in a violent spray. The anaconda launches upward, jaws agape, targeting the panther with astonishing speed. In that instant, the panther's eyes widen, claws unsheathing in reflex, every muscle tense for survival. The air crackles with tension as predator meets predator, each driven by instinct and the unforgiving laws of the wild. On the muddy bank, the two titans collide in a primal struggle. Muscles strain, water and mud fly, and the raw intensity of the moment is palpable. The jungle looms in the background, a silent witness to the relentless contest for dominance. Here, at the river's edge, every creature is both hunter and hunted, and survival is earned in the crucible of the kill zone. The anaconda's assault is a masterclass in ambush predation, its immense body undulating with silent precision beneath the water's surface. In a split second, it erupts from the murk, jaws yawning wide, fangs gleaming with lethal intent. The water explodes around its head, emerald scales flashing as it launches a calculated strike, aiming to seize the panther in a suffocating grip. But the panther's instincts are honed by countless hunts. Its golden eyes narrow, reading the subtle ripples and the faintest shift in the water. With a lightning-fast pivot, it launches itself sideways, claws carving deep furrows in the mud for traction. The panther's body twists mid-air, muscles rippling beneath its obsidian coat, as it narrowly evades the serpent's snapping jaws. The panther's leap is a display of raw athleticism. Its body arcs gracefully, landing with a controlled splash. Mud and water spray outward, its tail slicing the air for balance. Every muscle is primed, every sense heightened, as it prepares for the next move. The panther's ears flatten, nostrils flare, and its gaze never leaves the writhing serpent. The anaconda's momentum betrays it. Its massive form slides onto the exposed riverbank, scales smeared with mud. The snake's tongue flickers rapidly, tasting the air for its elusive target. It coils defensively, undulating in a desperate attempt to regain the concealment of water. But the slick mud offers little purchase. Now, predator faces predator. The panther's stare is unwavering, its body low and tense, while the anaconda's head weaves hypnotically, searching for an opening. Steam rises from the sodden earth, and for a heartbeat the jungle is silent, each adversary calculating, anticipating the other's next move. The panther breaks the standoff with a sudden explosive charge. Its paws hammer the mud, sending droplets flying in every direction. A guttural snarl rips through the humid air, a warning and a challenge. The panther's approach is not reckless. It zigzags, feinting left and right, forcing the anaconda to commit to a defensive posture. With a calculated lunge, the panther launches itself at the anaconda, claws unsheathed and fangs bared. The snake rears back, tightening its coils, head weaving in anticipation. The panther aims for the vulnerable neck, while the anaconda attempts to intercept with a looping strike, seeking to entangle a limb and drag its foe into the mud. The clash is ferocious. Mud and water erupt as bodies collide. The panther's jaws snap dangerously close to the anaconda's head, while the snake's coils whip through the air, seeking to ensnare. Each animal employs its unique arsenal. The panther's speed and precision against the anaconda's brute strength and constricting power. Every movement is deliberate and deadly. The panther's claws rake across the anaconda's armoured scales, seeking purchase, while the snake's tail lashes with bone-crushing force, aiming to immobilize its foe. The struggle is silent but intense, a primal contest of strength, agility, and tactical cunning as the jungle holds its breath, awaiting the outcome of this epic confrontation. The riverbank explodes into a frenzy of primal violence. Mud churns beneath the combatants as the panther's claws rake across the anaconda's armoured scales, each swipe a desperate calculation for survival. Water sprays in arcs, droplets catching the dim jungle light as the two titans twist and thrash, locked in a contest where every movement is a gamble between life and death. The anaconda's coils constrict with relentless mechanical force, each muscle segment working in perfect unison to squeeze the air from its adversary. The panther, refusing to yield, contorts its body with astonishing agility, shoulders rolling, spine flexing, hind legs bracing against the slick ground as it bucks and twists, claws digging for purchase in the shifting mud. Every second is a brutal test of endurance and anatomy. The panther's sinews stand out beneath its mud-slicked fur, muscles trembling with exertion as it lashes out, claws raking deep furrows into the anaconda's flesh. The snake's body undulates with terrifying precision, its tail anchoring against roots, its head weaving and striking, jaws agape in search of a vulnerable artery. The panther's strategy is surgical. Targeting the snake's most sensitive points, its claws slash at the anaconda's eyes and jaw, seeking to blind and disorient. The anaconda counters with raw, suffocating pressure, its tail whipping through the tangled undergrowth, snapping branches as it tries to anchor itself and overpower the feline's relentless assault. The environment itself becomes a third adversary. Slick mud and tangled roots threaten to betray every step, while relentless rain turns the ground into a treacherous mire. Both animals are battered and bleeding, their bodies marked by the violence of the struggle, breath steaming in the thick, humid air as the jungle holds its breath. In a final, explosive surge, the panther channels every ounce of its remaining strength, jaws locking around the anaconda's neck, teeth puncturing through scale and muscle. The snake's coils shudder and slacken, its immense body trembling as the last reserves of resistance drain away, eyes glazing in defeat. In the aftermath, the riverbank is eerily silent. The panther stands victorious over its fallen foe, chest heaving, rain washing blood from its fur. Its eyes remain sharp and wary, ever vigilant in the unforgiving jungle, where the cycle of survival never ends and only the strongest endure. Gap ones. As dawn unfurls across the vast savannah, golden light pierces the thinning mist, illuminating a landscape forever altered by the night's fierce encounter. The ground bears silent testimony, deep gouges in the mud, scattered tufts of black fur, and shattered snake scales tell the story of a struggle that has left its mark not only on the earth, but on the delicate balance of the ecosystem itself. The riverbank, once a battleground, now lies hushed and still. Water laps gently at the shore, slowly erasing the chaos, yet the air remains charged with the memory of violence, a tension that lingers in every ripple. Gap twos. Across the plain, a herd of impalas stands frozen, their bodies taut with alertness. Each ear swivels independently, catching the faintest sound, their instincts sharpened by the scent of blood and the knowledge that danger has passed, but not vanished. High above, vervet monkeys cling to the uppermost branches of the acacia trees. Their usual playful chatter is subdued, replaced by anxious murmurs as they scan the ground below, searching for any sign of renewed threat. Overhead, a pair of tawny eagles wheel in slow, deliberate circles. Their keen eyes miss nothing, drawn by the promise of a meal and the subtle shifts in the savannah's hierarchy that follow such a confrontation. Gap twos. From the undergrowth, small creatures begin to emerge. A mongoose, nose twitching, edges forward, its body low and movements cautious as it investigates the aftermath, aware that opportunity and peril often walk hand in hand. Nearby, a flock of guinea fowl moves through the debris, their heads bobbing as they pick at the ground, ever vigilant for predators that might still lurk in the shadows. The savannah's intricate web of life subtly shifts. Predators, scavengers and prey alike recalibrate their routines, each species attuned to the new risks and opportunities that ripple outward from the site of conflict. Gap twos. The victorious panther, its muscles rippling beneath a battered coat, slips silently into the tall grasses. Its presence lingers only in the faint rustle of stalks and the deep, fresh prints pressed into the mud. In its wake, only whispers remain, an elusive shadow that has once again asserted its dominance, leaving the ecosystem to adjust in its absence. The defeated anaconda, now motionless, becomes a silent offering to the cycle of life. Its body will soon sustain a host of scavengers, vultures, insects, and even the soil itself, each playing a role in the endless renewal of the savannah. Gap ones. Slowly, the rhythm of life resumes. The echoes of the confrontation ripple outward, shaping the behaviour and fate of every creature that calls this place home. Beneath the boundless African sky, the memory of the struggle endures, a silent testament to the relentless contest for survival, woven into the very fabric of the wild. Gap ones. Deep within the tangled undergrowth, the panther advances with painstaking caution, each step a calculated risk, every muscle coiled in anticipation. Its paws press silently into the damp earth, barely disturbing the carpet of fallen leaves as it navigates a labyrinth of roots and shadows. Shafts of sunlight pierce the dense canopy, catching the panther's coat and revealing streaks of fresh blood glistening against the black fur. The light flickers, painting the animal in fleeting gold and crimson, a stark reminder of the recent struggle. Its flank heaves unevenly, torn muscles flexing beneath the battered hide. With each stride, a bloodied paw imprints a faint crimson trail across the jungle floor, a silent testament to the cost of survival. Gap 2s. Driven by primal instinct, the panther seeks refuge, weaving through a maze of ferns and tangled vines until it finds a hollow, shielded beneath a fallen log and a curtain of thick greenery. In this cool, shadowed sanctuary, the panther lowers itself with a trembling exhale, muscles quivering from exertion and pain. The air here is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying wood, masking its presence from would-be predators. The jungle hush is broken only by the distant echoing call of a hornbill and the panther's ragged, shallow breaths. Insects hum in the background, their chorus a constant reminder of the teeming life that surrounds this moment of vulnerability. With deliberate, painstaking care, the panther begins to tend its wounds. Its rough tongue cleanses the torn flesh, removing dirt and blood, a ritual as old as the species itself. Each stroke is both an act of necessity and a testament to the animal's will to survive, reducing the risk of infection in this humid, bacteria-rich environment. Gap 2s. The panther's golden eyes remain wide and vigilant, pupils dilated to catch every flicker of movement in the dim light. It listens, senses heightened, for the subtle sounds of danger. An owl's wing beat, the slither of a snake, the distant snap of a twig. Even as pain pulses through its body, the panther's awareness is undiminished. Its ears rotate independently, tracking the faintest rustle of beetles beneath the leaf litter or the scurry of a lizard darting through the gloom. Every sense is a lifeline in this unforgiving wilderness. Vulnerability is a fleeting luxury. The panther's body tenses, muscles drawn taut, ready to spring at the first sign of threat. In the wild, hesitation can mean death. A shadow glides overhead, a raptor circling in search of prey. Instinctively, the panther flattens against the earth, every muscle rigid. The danger passes, and it relaxes fractionally, but vigilance never wanes. Gap 2s, time stretches, measured in heartbeats and the slow shifting of light through the canopy. The panther's breathing steadies, each inhale deeper than the last. It shifts position, conserving precious energy, instinctively minimizing movement to avoid drawing attention from opportunistic scavengers. Slowly, the bleeding abates. Clots form over the worst wounds, fur matting around the edges. The jungle's humidity accelerates healing, but also threatens infection, making every moment of rest a delicate balance between recovery and risk. Alone in the dense wilderness, the panther embodies resilience. Each heartbeat, each shallow breath is a victory against the odds, a silent assertion of life in a world where only the strongest endure. As dusk deepens, the panther rises, its body battered, but its spirit unbroken. It slips silently into the tall grass and shadow, every movement guided by the ancient instinct to survive, to heal, and to endure whatever the wild demands. Gap 1s. The savannah will remember the clash, but for the panther, survival is a relentless journey, fought in solitude, measured in patience, and marked by the quiet persistence of life, pressing forward, one heartbeat at a time. Gap 1s. Far from the panther's hidden refuge, The riverbank lies hushed, the muddy waters swirling with the echoes of a fierce confrontation. The air is thick with humidity, heavy with the scent of churned earth and crushed foliage. In the shallows, the anaconda lingers, its immense form half submerged. Emerald scales catching the last rays of sunlight, each glint a silent testament to its resilience. Deep gouges and raw abrasions mar its coils, the aftermath of a desperate struggle. Each wound is a vivid reminder of the panther's claws, the skin torn and bruised, blood seeping in thin rivulets between armoured scales. A subtle tremor ripples along its length as the snake shifts, muscles flexing beneath battered skin. It tightens and loosens its coils, probing for deeper injuries, each movement deliberate and cautious. Gap 2s. The anaconda's head emerges, nostrils flaring, tongue flickering to taste the air, testing for danger, for the scent of blood, for the presence of rivals or scavengers drawn by the commotion. Victory has come at a price. The anaconda's body bears the cost, scales torn, flesh bruised, and the slow trickle of blood painting its triumph in crimson. Blood drifts from shallow wounds, swirling in the gentle current, staining the water with fleeting ribbons of red. Its breathing is laboured, each inhale measured, each exhale a slow release of tension as it gathers itself. Tiny fish dart fearlessly around its battered tail, oblivious to the predator's exhaustion. Life in the river continues, indifferent to the drama that has unfolded. Gap 2s. With painstaking care, the anaconda glides toward deeper water, its body undulating in slow, powerful waves. Each movement is a test of endurance, muscles rippling as it weaves through submerged roots and tangled branches. The snake's progress is cautious, conserving precious energy, avoiding any sudden strain that might aggravate its wounds. Every inch forward is a calculated effort, a silent negotiation between pain and survival. The riverbank, once a chaotic arena, now exudes a tranquil stillness. Dense greenery leans over calm water, sheltering the battered victor as it seeks refuge from the world above. Gap 2s. Overhead, a kingfisher darts low, its wings slicing the humid air, startled by the silent passage below, a fleeting witness to the aftermath. The anaconda slips beneath a tangled curtain of reeds, its patterned skin blending seamlessly with the shifting mosaic of sunlight and shadow. Here it becomes nearly invisible, a master of camouflage in its wounded retreat. In this sanctuary, the snake lies motionless, senses alert, every muscle poised for flight or defense. It waits, patient and wary, as the jungle's chorus resumes around it. For the anaconda, survival is a relentless trial, measured not only in moments of dominance, but in the quiet endurance that follows. Each scar is a lesson, each breath a testament to adaptation. Gap 2s. As night descends, shadows deepen over the river. The great snake slips beneath the surface, vanishing into the darkness, leaving behind only a faint ripple, a silent signature of its continued existence. The wild remains indifferent, but for the anaconda, every battle is etched in memory. Scars written in flesh, silence heavy with experience, and each silent glide a promise to endure whatever the jungle demands next. Gap 1s. As the anaconda vanishes beneath the surface, the riverbank exhales a trembling sigh, its tension slowly dissolving into the humid morning air. The first rays of sunlight pierce the mist, illuminating droplets clinging to every blade of grass and painting the riverbank in golden hues. Egrets and herons, silent sentinels of the wetlands, emerge from their hidden alcoves, their feathers ruffled by the lingering tension. With deliberate grace, they test the mud's firmness, each step calculated to avoid the softest patches where danger might still lurk. The shadows cast by fleeing animals fade, replaced by a cautious peace that settles over the landscape. Birds flick their wings, the memory of chaos etched in every nervous flutter, their eyes scanning for the slightest movement. Small mammals and reptiles peer from the undergrowth, their senses sharpened, nostrils flaring to read the air for any trace of threat. Gap twos. In the dense reeds, a family of capybaras emerges, their fur slick with dew, noses twitching as they test the safety of the open bank. The adults form a protective circle around their young, ears swiveling independently to catch every distant splash or rustle. Drawn by the scent of upheaval, caimans glide silently toward the shore, their nostrils barely breaking the surface as they taste the air for clues. Their eyes, cold and unblinking, scan the churned mud for signs of opportunity, remnants of the struggle or vulnerable prey. Tiny frogs, emboldened by the retreat of giants, resume their chorus, their calls echoing through the undergrowth in a tentative celebration. Dragonflies dart and hover above the rippling water, their iridescent wings catching the light as they hunt for insects stirred up by the commotion. Gap twos. High above, black vultures spiral on rising thermals, their keen eyes scanning the aftermath for any sign of weakness or death. They glide in widening circles, reading the landscape for subtle cues, a patch of disturbed earth, a glint of exposed flesh. With practiced precision, they descend to the river's edge, wings outstretched to balance on the shifting mud. Their beaks probe the ground for scraps, each morsel a vital link in the chain of survival, ensuring nothing is left to waste. Insects swarm to the remains, joined by opportunistic birds, their collective efforts breaking down and recycling every trace of the conflict. Gap twos. Even the trees bear witness, their roots exposed and gripping the loosened soil, anchoring themselves against the scars left by the struggle. Leaves, shaken loose by the commotion, drift down in slow spirals, carpeting the mud with a fresh layer of organic memory. Each leaf settles gently, providing shelter for beetles and ants that immediately set to work reclaiming the ground. The soil teems with renewed life as decomposers break down the remnants, restoring nutrients to the earth. Gap twos. The wild pulses with renewed energy, every heartbeat of predator and prey woven into the fabric of the ecosystem. Each encounter leaves its mark, subtle shifts in territory, new alliances, and lessons learned by every creature that witnessed the clash. Ripples spread across the water, carrying the story of the battle to distant banks, where unseen eyes and ears take heed. The interconnected web of life adjusts. Predators grow more cautious, prey more vigilant, and the balance subtly shifts. In the hush that follows, the jungle holds its breath, the equilibrium restored but forever altered by what has transpired. The riverbank breathes anew, alive with possibility, every creature alert, every sense attuned to the ever-changing rhythm of the wild. Gap ones. In the quiet aftermath of the epic struggle, the savannah and jungle stand as silent witnesses to nature's most profound secret. Adaptation, the relentless force that shapes every creature into a master of survival. Watch as the black panther glides through the tangled undergrowth, its movement a symphony of precision and power. Every sinew and tendon has been sculpted by countless generations, granting it the ability to stalk, leap, and vanish with breathtaking efficiency. Its rosette-patterned coat is more than beautiful. It's a marvel of camouflage, breaking up the panther's outline and allowing it to melt into the shifting shadows. This living cloak is the product of evolutionary artistry, rendering the predator nearly invisible to both prey and rival. The panther's paws are padded and supple, absorbing every sound as it moves. This silent tread is a vital adaptation, enabling the panther to approach its quarry undetected, even across brittle leaves and tangled roots. Its eyes, glowing with an eerie intensity in the half-light, are engineered for the dimmest conditions. Specialized cells amplify even the faintest glimmer, granting the panther unrivaled vision at dawn, dusk, and deep within the jungle's shadowy heart. Gap 2s. Beneath the water's surface, the green anaconda reigns supreme. Its serpentine form glides effortlessly through the murky river, a living testament to aquatic adaptation. The anaconda's olive-green scales are smooth and hydrodynamic, reducing resistance as it moves. Their subtle hues mirror the river's vegetation, rendering the snake nearly invisible to both predator and prey. Beneath its skin, powerful muscles ripple in coordinated waves, allowing the anaconda to coil, constrict, and strike with astonishing speed and force. This muscular design is the key to its dominance as an ambush predator. Along its jawline, heat-sensing pits detect the faintest warmth, guiding the anaconda to hidden prey even in total darkness. Its double-jointed jaws and expandable throat are evolutionary marvels, enabling it to engulf animals many times the width of its own head. Gap 2s. Every adaptation, every trait is a hard-won advantage in this unforgiving arena, where only the most finely tuned survive. The panther's claws remain sheathed and razor-sharp, protected until the instant they are unleashed. In a flash, they become lethal weapons, gripping prey with unyielding force. Deep within the anaconda's body, its ribcage and organs are uniquely arranged to withstand the crushing pressure of a prolonged constriction, allowing it to subdue even the most formidable opponents without self-injury. These two predators, though worlds apart in form and strategy, are united by their evolutionary mastery. One built for speed, stealth, and agility, the other for patience, power, and precision. Gap 2s. As dusk falls, their silhouettes merge with the fading light, each a living legacy of countless generations shaped by the relentless demands of survival. In the wild, only the most adaptable endure. The panther and the anaconda, each a masterpiece of evolution, continue their eternal contest, perfectly attuned to the delicate balance between hunter and hunted. As the velvet night deepens over the savannah, the land exhales. A momentary stillness settles, as if the world itself is holding its breath between the echoes of survival and surrender. The camera glides just above dew-soaked grasses, where the faint imprints of a vanished struggle dissolve beneath the weight of moisture, erasing the evidence of conflict and renewal alike. In the undergrowth, the smallest architects of the ecosystem awaken. Beetles and insects, drawn by the scent of transformation, begin their silent work, breaking down what remains and returning it to the earth. Shadows drift across the moonlit grass, scavengers, neither mourners nor villains, but vital custodians of the savannah, ensuring that nothing is wasted, that every fragment finds its place in the cycle. Here, the food chain is not a hierarchy, but a network. Each loss becomes sustenance, each ending a beginning for countless unseen lives, weaving a tapestry of interdependence that stretches beyond sight. A solitary hyena moves through the mist, her silhouette barely discernible, embodying the resilience required to survive in a world where opportunity and danger are inseparable. She pauses, nostrils flaring, reading the invisible language of scent and wind, a living testament to instincts honed over millennia, guiding her through the labyrinth of night. Overhead, an owl glides in utter silence, its wings sculpted for stealth, eyes attuned to the faintest flicker of movement, a master of patience, precision, and the art of survival. Beneath the river's surface, fish gather in the gentle current, drawn to the remnants of the day's drama, transforming loss into nourishment, and in turn becoming part of the river's living pulse. Even the bones, stripped bare and scattered, are not forgotten. They dissolve into the soil, enriching it with minerals, feeding the roots of grasses that will one day shelter new generations. The passage of time is marked not by endings, but by seamless transitions, sunrise and sunset, day and night, each cycle a silent promise that life will persist. Every creature, from the industrious beetle to the elusive panther and the patient anaconda, fulfills a role uniquely its own. Each action, each adaptation, a thread in the intricate fabric of existence. Their destinies are not isolated but woven together, predator and prey, competitor and collaborator, all participants in a dance choreographed by necessity and chance. In this world, victory is fleeting, and survival is never guaranteed. Every encounter is a negotiation with fate, every stare down a moment suspended between hunger and hope. Death here is not a void, but a transformation. Organic matter returning to the soil, fueling the next surge of growth, ensuring that the Savannah's story is one of perpetual renewal. As the horizon blushes with the first light of dawn, golden rays spill across the grasslands, awakening seeds and stirring dormant life into motion. The camera lingers on a newborn antelope, its legs trembling with uncertainty, yet compelled by instinct to rise and greet the world, an emblem of possibility in a landscape shaped by challenge. Nearby, its mother stands vigilant, her presence a shield against the unknown, embodying the fierce devotion that ensures the next generation's chance to thrive. Across the savannah, resilience takes many forms: adaptation to drought, ingenuity in hunting, cooperation in herds. Each strategy a testament to the ingenuity of life. The wind stirs the tall grasses, carrying with it the scents and sounds of renewal. Animals inhale the cool morning air, their breaths synchronizing with the rhythm of a world forever in flux. In this boundless wilderness, the story is never truly finished. Each dawn is a new beginning, each heartbeat a continuation. Life, death, and renewal, eternally entwined in the wild's unbroken cycle. As darkness deepens, the savannah transforms into a realm ruled by silence and shadow, an arena where the night's true masters emerge. The camera slips beneath the dense canopy, where moonbeams fracture against tangled vines, revealing the panther in her element. Her coat, dappled with the ghostly shimmer of starlight, blends seamlessly with the shifting tapestry of leaves and darkness. Every step is a calculated whisper. Muscles coil and release in perfect harmony, paws barely disturbing the fallen leaves as she glides through her territory. Her senses are alive, ears swiveling to catch the faintest rustle, whiskers trembling with the pulse of the wind. She pauses, golden eyes flashing as they lock onto the subtle movement of a rodent foraging in the undergrowth. With patience honed by countless generations, she waits, timing her approach with the rhythm of the night, a predator sculpted by necessity and opportunity. Beneath the river's obsidian surface, another hunter stirs. The Anaconda, a living ribbon of muscle and intent, slips silently through the cool water. Her tongue flickers, tasting the currents for traces of life. The camera follows her undulating form as she navigates submerged roots and reeds, her scales catching glints of moonlight with each subtle turn. She pauses near a shallow bank, body half submerged, poised in the patient stillness that precedes the strike. Above the water, the world is painted in blue and silver. Below, it is a realm of shadow and anticipation. Small fish dart nervously, sensing the presence of the silent giant. The anaconda's eyes, adapted for low light, scan for movement. Her world defined by contrast and vibration rather than colour. When a careless capybara ventures too close, she tenses, her entire body a spring of latent energy. But tonight she waits, conserving strength, her hunger measured by instinct and opportunity. Elsewhere, the panther stalks along the river's edge, her outline melting into the grass. She pauses, drinking in the scents carried by the night breeze, each molecule a clue, each shift a story. In the distance, a chorus of insects and frogs rises, masking her approach as she moves ever closer to her quarry. Her breath is slow, her gaze unwavering, a study in focus and restraint. Time stretches and contracts in the nocturnal world. Every heartbeat, every flick of tail or tongue is magnified by the quiet. The camera cuts between the panther's sinuous prowl and the anaconda's liquid grace. Two predators, worlds apart, yet united by the same relentless drive to survive. They move through parallel realms, their paths crossing only in the invisible web of competition and balance that sustains the night. No human presence disturbs this ancient ballet. Only the creatures of the dark, playing out rituals as old as the land itself. As the moon arcs overhead, both hunters slip deeper into the shadows, their secrets safe for another night. The savannah breathes quietly, holding its mysteries close, awaiting the next chapter in the endless story of life after dark. Beneath the towering grass and sprawling roots of the savannah, a hidden world stirs, one that pulses with life too small or swift to be seen at a glance. As the drama of the panther and anaconda unfolds above, the microhabitats below react in subtle yet profound ways, their inhabitants adapting to the shifting tides of danger and opportunity. The camera descends to ground level, where dew-laden blades of grass form a dense forest for a family of termites. Their intricate tunnels, woven through the soil, become lifelines as tremors from the panther's passing send waves of alarm through their colony. Workers and soldiers freeze, antennae twitching as the shadow overhead signals a temporary halt to their nightly labour. Nearby, a community of dung beetles set about their moonlit tasks, rolling precious cargo across the earth. The scent of unease lingers in the air, the panther's musk and the anaconda's trail, warning them to stay close to cover. Each beetle's journey is a race against time, as even the smallest shift in the predatory balance above can spell disaster for those below. In the tangled roots along the riverbank, a chorus of frogs huddles in damp crevices, their calls muted tonight. They sense the anaconda's silent patrol, and their silence ripples outward, changing the rhythm of the night. Fireflies flicker above, their bioluminescent signals pulsing between the reeds, illuminating the delicate webs of nocturnal spiders lying in wait for careless prey. A shrew, tiny and relentless, darts through leaf litter in search of insects. Her world is a labyrinth of scent trails and vibrations, a microcosm shaped by the larger predator's every move. When the panther's shadow passes, she freezes, heart racing, then scurries on, ever alert to the shifting patterns of threat and safety. Even the ants, tireless architects, adjust their routines. Scouts return early to the nest, carrying news of distant tremors and shifting scents. Their colony, a bustling metropolis beneath the soil, becomes a fortress in times of uncertainty, a testament to the resilience of life at every scale. The camera sweeps outward, revealing the interconnectedness of these microhabitats. Each tiny drama, each adaptation, is a thread in the vast tapestry of the savannah. The presence of apex predators sends ripples through the ecosystem, their influence felt in every burrow, every blade of grass, every drop of dew. As dawn approaches, the savannah's smallest denizens emerge from hiding, their world forever shaped by the silent shadows that passed overhead. In these hidden realms, survival is a constant negotiation, a delicate balance maintained by creatures great and small, each playing their part in the endless dance of life. The microhabitats breathe as one, resilient and ever adapting, their stories etched in the quiet spaces beneath the savannah's grandest spectacles. Weeks have passed since the clash between Panther and Anaconda sent shockwaves through the savannah. The land, once marked by sudden violence, now reveals the slow, intricate aftermath, a transformation written not in scars, but in subtle shifts of territory and behaviour. The camera glides over trampled grasses, now pushing new shoots skyward. The panther's former haunt, once a well-trodden corridor along the riverbank, is quieter now. Her absence has emboldened a coalition of jackals who slink through the undergrowth, carving out new hunting paths where they once dared not tread. Each patrol is cautious, noses to the wind, but the balance of power has tilted. Their howls echo where silence once ruled. Further upstream, the anaconda's presence lingers in the waterlogged reeds. The river's smaller residents, a family of otters, have altered their routines, venturing out only at midday when the snake is least likely to be on the prowl. Their playful chases are shorter, more urgent, as they navigate a world where danger now comes not just from above, but from below. On the open plains, a herd of impalas has shifted its grazing grounds. The memory of the panther's ambush lingers in their collective memory, shaping new migration routes. Their sentinels stand alert in unfamiliar territory, muscles taut, ears flicking at every unfamiliar sound. The grass here is taller, less grazed, a testament to how quickly the ecosystem responds to the movements of its apex hunters. In the tangled gallery forest, baboons have claimed the abandoned fig trees that once marked the panther's favourite perch. Their young tumble through the branches, emboldened by the absence of feline eyes. Yet with new territory comes new risks. A solitary hyena, sensing opportunity, begins to stalk the forest edge, testing boundaries and searching for weaknesses. Even the river itself is transformed. The anaconda's dominance shifts the balance among fish and amphibians. Frogs now chorus at dusk from further inland, their calls a cautious celebration of reclaimed space. The camera dives beneath the surface, revealing cichlids darting through shadows cast by the snake's lingering presence, their schools tighter, movements more synchronized. Across the savannah, invisible borders are redrawn. Scent trails fade and reappear, carved by the feet and bodies of new claimants. Old territories are contested, alliances forged and broken in the silent language of scent, sound and movement. The aftermath is not chaos, but adaptation, a living map ever in flux, shaped by the echoes of conflict and the quiet persistence of survival. As the sun sets, the camera rises above the shifting mosaic. From above, the Savannah appears unchanged. But for those who live its cycles, every tuft of grass and muddy bank tells a story. Of power lost and gained, of boundaries tested, and of a world forever changed by the struggles of its fiercest inhabitants. As the Savannah slips into the grip of the rainy season, the sky transforms into a swirling canvas of slate and silver. Thunderheads gather on the distant horizon, their shadows racing across the plains. The first drops fall, gentle at first, then relentless, drumming against the earth in a symphony of renewal and unrest. For the Panther, the storm is both ally and adversary. Cloaked in darkness and mist, she slinks through the drenched undergrowth, her coat slick with rain, each step muffled by the sodden ground. The shifting winds scatter her scent, allowing her to stalk with newfound stealth. Yet swollen rivers block her familiar paths, and the cacophony of raindrops masks the subtle sounds of prey. She pauses at the river's edge, golden eyes reflecting the lightning's flash, calculating a new route through a world reshaped by water. Beneath the surface, the Anaconda thrives in the Tempest's wake. Rising waters flood the riverbanks, expanding her domain into the inundated grasslands. She glides silently through murky eddies, her movement almost invisible beneath the floating debris. Fish and amphibians scatter before her, disoriented by the churning currents. The rain blurs the boundary between land and river, granting the giant snake access to new hunting grounds and new risks as unfamiliar currents tug at her massive coils. The camera sweeps from the Panther's rain-soaked silhouette to the Anaconda's ripple-traced wake, capturing the raw dialogue between predator and storm. Lightning forks across the sky. The Panther flinches, her muscles tense, while the Anaconda remains motionless, senses attuned to the vibrations of a world in flux. As dawn breaks, the storm's legacy is written across the land. Pools glisten where none existed before, tracks blur and vanish, and the scent of fresh earth hangs heavy in the air. The Panther moves cautiously, each step measured in the uncertainty of this sodden landscape. The Anaconda coils beneath a half-submerged log, patient, waiting for the floodwaters to reveal new opportunities, or new threats. In the wild, weather is more than backdrop. It is an architect, a silent force shaping every decision, every risk, every act of survival. For the Panther and the Anaconda, the Tempest is both a challenge and a chance, a reminder that in this eternal contest the greatest power may come not from tooth or fang, but from the ever-changing sky above. In the aftermath of every storm and every struggle, something deeper than scars is left behind, a legacy etched not only in the landscape, but in the very bloodlines of predator and prey. Beneath the surface, invisible threads bind the present to an ancient past, weaving the lessons of survival into the genetic memory of both Panther and Anaconda. The camera glides over a young panther, her coat dappled by the filtered light of dawn. She stalks through the undergrowth, her movements echoing those of ancestors who once navigated similar perils. Instinct guides her paws, urging caution at swollen rivers and patience in the hunt. These are behaviours honed by generations, each encounter with the Tempest, each close call with the serpent, encoded into the very fabric of her being. Beneath the water's shimmering surface, a juvenile anaconda slips from her mother's protective coils. She glides into the flooded grasslands, drawn by currents she has never seen. yet navigates with uncanny ease. The memory of past floods, of successful ambushes and narrow escapes whispers through her instincts. She knows to lie in wait beneath submerged branches, to sense the subtle vibrations of prey even as rain drums overhead. The visuals shift panther cubs practicing their pounce in the shelter of a hollow log, their play shaped by the echoes of real hunts. Young anacondas coil around reeds, rehearsing the silent patience that will one day mean life or death. Across the savannah, each new generation inherits more than just territory. They inherit hard-won wisdom, the silent code of survival written in their DNA. As the camera pans out, the cycle continues. The legacy of every encounter, every tempest, lives on, not as memory, but as instinct. Panther and Anaconda, shaped by centuries of conflict and adaptation, move through the world as living testaments to the power of inherited experience. In their bloodlines, the wild remembers.